there. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another version of the Medicare Center and what its capacities include. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of good news from agents out there in the field, brokers out in the field about these tools, and I especially hear some good things about the scope of appointment.
Yeah,
it truly is going to be. That was an unbelievable webinar that we did. Got a lot of feedback and a lot of people very interested in it. In addition to that, what we're going to do today basically is, of all the things that we can do, we're going to learn how to run an MAPD and a PD comparison inside this Medicare Center. Yep. You've done this.
Yep. We're going to talk about how to, compare different plans, and also how we can send quotes of the plans to our clients. So we'll kind of walk through that. But yeah, we're getting a ton of great feedback. Everybody really enjoys this platform, and I think the longer you're on it and kind of play around with it, the more stuff it does.
The more stuff it does, and I think we're even improving this as we go. I mean, we're going to have to do an update on some of the things that we're getting some feedback on from Medicare Center. But yeah, I think it's got a lot of things in there that even we don't even know about that we're going to be tripping over as we go.
Yeah,
is that safe to say?
It's exciting. Yeah,
safe to say. What is Medicare Center? Well, basically, we're touting this as a platform. It's just a one-stop shop for navigating AEP. That's going to be the biggest tool that I see agents are going to be able to take this and make a difference in their world. Yeah. We've got such a shot. I think we got 53 or 54 days between October 15th and December 7th to get an awful lot of work done. Mm-hmm. As we grow these books of business, one of the hard things to do is to manage the PDP side of the equation. What this does is it really allows us to streamline that PDP process. Yeah. Maybe sometime in the future, we'll do another webinar on how you and Sarah do it, because again, I love your 30-minute dedicated period of time. You guys are like a working time clock.
In
and out is exactly right. And I think that's so important to some of these brokers out there that have got some large books of business. It does client management, enrollment, scopes of appointment. I can't tell you how easy it is. We have a broker up in Chicago that he was wondering, he goes, I saw the webinar, how do I get on that where I send a scope via text? It's the only thing that the lady's got. Mm-hmm. I took him in, did Medicare link. It was within 2 minutes. He had it down and done and sent, waiting on a response. Yep. A single sign-on for all of these products. I mean, you got one place to go to. You can download all your username and passwords where you can hit a button, and basically it provides every tool that you've got. Yep. And probably the most important thing is that we're picking up the bill, or at least Integrity is picking up that bill.
It says free. It is not free.
No, it's not free.
Not free.
Not free.
But it is
we're
free.
Making it free.
It is free to our agents. Just one of the perks of doing business with us, and ultimately an Integrity partner.
Yeah. So show us some more. Today's agenda includes, we're going to add to compare feature, adding plans to your cart, sending clients a plan quote, and then basically we're going to answer the questions if we've got anything bubbling up here. So why don't you take it from here?
Sounds good. Jason, you may just share my screen here. All right.
So when we go to Medicare Center, you're going to show us what they're going to be seeing. Is that correct?
Yep. Okay. So let me just get out of this and. Okay, so always kind of start at our.
Hold on, we can't see it yet.
I see a question in there by Charles. What does Charles ask here?
What happens if you have different FMOs and you're using your system but their market?
Hi, Charles. I tell you what, here's what we need to, as long as your FMOs are Integrity partners, it's not going to matter. All of your products that you're licensed with, as long as they're with different FMO partners that are Integrity partners, it will show up on your tool. If you've got it outside the Integrity system, it will not be imported in. So it's kind of the reason that we're doing this is because we're trying to make it as easy for you to do business with us. And so, or an Integrity partner. It makes no difference to us which partner. But again, that just kind of hopefully answers your question there.
All right, well, let's just kind of play around with it and kind of run a few here. So I always like to start at our homepage. So New Horizons, mktg.com. And then up at the right here, you'll see a button called Medicare Center. And we're just going to click that. And here it'll talk about, all the great things it does. There's a little video, but then this big yellow button right here, if we click that, will log us into Medicare Center. You'll have a username and password. I'm already logged in, but it's just your NIPR number, and then you'll create a password. But then now we're in Medicare Center. And, we can do a lot of things in here. Today, we're going to look at just the Medicare Advantage and PDP part of the portal. And so if we click that, then we have two options. We can go Medicare app or Medicare link. Both of these functions ultimately do the same thing, just personal preference. Some of them have they have different carriers on there and do a couple other things. Today, for our purposes, we're going to look at Medicare app.
So they can use both, though, right?
You can use both.
You can use both. They're not limited to using one or the other.
Yep. You can use either or. It doesn't matter. They're both on the system. So help me with this. It was Sunfire and what was the other one? Connecture. So both of those are the big dogs on the block, and they kind of came in together and are on here. So we'll look at Medicare app first. So it's going to pop in here to the home screen. Here we can search beneficiaries for what we want to do. I always, Steve, first thing I'll do is I'm sitting down with a client. I'm going to create a profile. Okay, it'll make our job easier later down the road. So let's go up here to new profile, and we'll start somebody. We'll say they live right here where we're at. We'll say this guy's name is Steve Smith. Okay. And then we'll have you can put phone number, email. I always like to get, again, the first name, last name, and then at least a phone number. But obviously, the more things that you have for the client, the more it'll build on their profile. So we'll just make up a number here. Okay, so we keep going. Okay, so today we're going to continue plans and kind of look at all the plans available in this guy's area. Okay, again, here at the top, you can look here and see that you are on Steve's profile. So we're working with Steve. Hopefully we've already, done our scope of appointment, and I was able to text that to him, and we received it back. And so now we're just going to figure out what the best plan for Steve is. Still, I always want to add preferences again to get this guy his exactly what the best plan is, so we can really get as close as we can to what the costs are. So we're going to say that we're working on an MAPD plan. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to click medical and prescription drug. We're going to say he does not receive any sort of special assistance. Keep moving. Okay. We'll say this guy is turning 65, and he's generally healthy. Maybe a couple medicines. Just your average guy.
Just the average guy.
Goes to the doctor a couple times a year. Good to go.
So like so many other of our 65-year-olds.
Yep. Just to build this profile, let's add a few drugs. So we'll just add a statin. We'll say he takes 20 milligrams. He gets it every month, and he takes it once a day. Okay. We'll add that. And then let's just add a blood pressure. We'll say amlodipine. Okay. And so we're going to click that one. We'll say he takes 10 milligrams once a day. Okay, so we'll add that. So
easy stuff. This is what we normally see on Medicare.gov. It's just same easy way to begin, and it will autofill.
Correct.
Obviously, I see all the autofill.
Correct. Yep. Everything. So now, adding the more things we add to Steve's profile, the clearer our picture will be to figure out what the best plan for this guy is. So we're going to continue. And then we're going to say Steve goes to CVS. Okay, so that's going to be our home pharmacy and our primary pharmacy. Okay, So based on the things that we've got of Steve, we're going to look at some Medicare Advantage plans. So
You told us how many was in there, 11
Yep,
plans
and
available.
yeah, 11 plans available, and you know, for the big MA riders, yeah, you know, this is a you know, our county. There's there's not that many available. So
But there's really not that many
but-
available in our county.
But let's say, you know, we want to just kind of look at the 3 Medicare Advantage PDP plans, MAPD plans here in our area. Okay. So I'm going to add this one to compare. Okay. I'm going to add this one to compare. And I'm going to add that Humana plan to compare. Okay. And then if we click compare now, we're able to look at kind of all 3 plans side by side to ultimately, you know, make the best decision for Steve to figure out what the best plan for him is. So
Can we compare 2 of them?
you compare, yes, 2 or 3,
So
2
no
or
more than
3,
three,
no more
okay.
than 3. So up
Okay.
to 3
All right.
plans
Side by side.
side by side, and we can kind of look at them. So
Can we run the profile if a person wants to see more than 3? Can we run, I mean, I'm just asking.
no, I believe you can only compare 3 at
Okay.
once,
All right.
3 at once. So,
Okay. All right.
but kind of, you know, it'll talk about the costs.
Mhm.
It'll talk about all the benefits involved, and again, makes it real nice and easy side by
It
side.
does make it easy to make a decision. You see
Yes.
those side by side comparisons, and it does get to be
Yep,
about making a choice.
Correct.
A, B, or C.
correct. And since we did kind of build this guy's profile out, when we did put in the prescription drugs, it'll look at, you know, what you know, what those plans tier those medicines and what they look like.
And here clearly, it looks like the CVS Aetna is going to be, when I look at the prescription deductibles and things that are
It looks to be better than
It
than the
does.
Humana around
It
here.
does.
So, so not only can we look at it, you know, as an agent, but if you're sitting with a client, you can just flip your screen. But if they're not with them, you know, like so many of our agents and clients kind of work remotely, you know,
Absolutely.
we can also send it. So we run these 3 comparisons. If you come up here, we can just send a quote.
All right.
Okay, so we click send a quote. It will text the quote to your client. And you can put what you want to say in here. I have a pre-fill where it just says, please reveal this quote at your earliest convenience. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. All you have to do is send quote, and it's going to go to that client, and they're able to look at it.
And you can do email, text, or both.
Correct. Yep. The email didn't pop up because for this client, I didn't put his email address in there, but that is absolutely, we can text it or send an email. Okay. So then let's say we sent that quote, and we came to where you know, this Aetna plan is the best one for him, and that's what he wants to do. Okay. All we got to do is click add to cart, just like we're shopping on Amazon, and we can actually continue to apply right here. So we can complete and submit the form myself. That's typically what I'll do. But you go click continue to apply. Whoops, continue to apply, and it's going to redirect you directly to Aetna Adventures portal.
And so that's where we can fill out the application. Aetna's got it right now.
Mhm.
The broker gets credit for writing the business,
Yep.
and away we go.
Away we go. Yeah. So again, you know, one of the most important things about MedicareCENTER is, you know, we're able to have, you know, if you're living, let's say Chicago, and you got, you know, 25, 30 different Medicare Advantage plans, you don't need to have the username for Aetna, the username for Humana, you know, for all the carriers, everything's right there. And then MedicareCENTER will redirect you to where you need to go. So
many people are like me, where not as tech savvy as I want to be. A lot of people leave these browsers open and know where to click and whatnot.
I don't know if anybody's like you.
Okay, buddy. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. But that's what makes MedicareCENTER so doggone easy. I can go to one spot. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If me giving directions to somebody about Medicare Link using the scope of appointment by text
Absolutely.
in 2 minutes, I'm promising you folks, you can get used to this.
Absolutely.
I promise you.
Absolutely.
A couple of questions. not in order. We should check providers though too, right? Or are you trying to convince an MA prospect to change docs if they need to?
No, that is a great question. So if we come up here and again, we look at their preferences, we can make sure that I think. No, I'm sorry, it's not right here. If we go to click on the plan, let me get there. That's a great question. If we click on, let's say this one, plan details, and scroll down here at the bottom, there is going to be a link that we can take that will look at the doctor's information. So under preferences, it'll take you right to the provider directory, and each carrier will do this. So, and there we'll be able to punch in their doctor, make sure that that doctor's in network for them. Yeah, great question.
Yeah, and I would follow one other piece of advice. Personally, while I love having a provider directory available like this, it never hurts having them call their doctor's office. Those administrators can tell them, do you take the Aetna Medicare Advantage?
Right.
And they'll be able to say yes or no now. Most of the time, yes. Most of the time, yes.
Correct.
So it never hurts to cover everybody's tracks that direction. Not only does the beneficiary get to hear it from their doctor's own office, that saves a little bit of headache sometimes too, if the event that something happens between the cracks where a doctor's not.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So just cover everybody's self.
Okay, Alex wanted to know, why do we have both? What Medicare Link and Medicare app? Is one better, or do they do different things?
It's like Coke and Pepsi. That's how I would describe it. We've described it in the past like that. You can carry on.
Just personal preference. They both don't have all the carriers. Medicare app will have different carriers than Medicare Link. So, in your area, if you find out that you're writing a Humana plan or an ARP plan or whatever it is, and it's not on one or the other, then you're going to use the other one. And that's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
How you are able to send scope of appointments is a little bit different.
Yeah, the Medicare Link, we like that for that texting scope of ability. That's not available on Medicare app, but it is on Medicare Link. Medicare app tends to have more carriers. Is that fair to say?
So far, they're both changing, every year. So this system right now is going to look a lot different come October.
And so, Alex, I would tell you that simply we want to make sure that we've got everything available to you. That's why both of them are up there. Coke or Pepsi, take your choice. Maybe both.
How about Blue Cross? Is it on either?
I don't know. We can find out.
Specific carriers, we're going to have to find out.
Do you have? Yeah, I believe we have a. We can get something. Who asked that? Alex. Yep.
Alex, let us find out. We'll put that on a little tickler and we'll get back to Alex on that.
Okay, Frank wants to know, does MedicareCENTER quote CSNP and DSNP?
They will, if they're available in that. If they're available from any carrier, they're not going to. Yes, they will. It'll be on there.
Again, this is a dummy account kind of just for these presentations, so it doesn't include probably everything on there.
But yeah, I would. We'll ask and answer that question specifically, but I've never heard anything said where it's not going to include a DSIP or a CSNP product.
Okay, Rebecca just posted the available carriers.
Okay.
And
thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Well, listen, everybody, the more we get used to this product, the more we absolutely love it. We're hearing such good reviews out there from brokers that are embracing this, assistants as well. I mean, we're hearing from both of them, and it's just absolutely hitting a home run. And I think if we just get used to it, I think we're going to find it to be the tool that we're all hoping we had a few years back. Do we have another question there, Jason?
Yeah, okay, on CSNP and DSNP, can you actually take the app based on CSNP requiring that you do a pre-qual?
Well, you're getting into some things, David, I would think that we've not gone across yet. We've not come across that with Medicare Center. I don't think we've done one like that, have we?
I personally haven't.
Yeah, I've not either. I don't work with this on a daily basis. I work with the brokers. David, we'll get back to you with that as well. I will take your question specifically and find out from the people that designed this plan.
Okay.
Well, folks, again, we thank you very much and stay tuned for the next version of what we're going to do here with Medicare Center. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.